Hey, welcome back to the show, Therapy Unzipped. I'm your host, Tom. I'm here with Brett. And what are we going to be talking about today? Nut maxing?
Well, why not? I mean, what could possibly go wrong? You know, I mean, you
well,
put you and I in a room together. I mean, really, how can it go sideways?
probably not talking about that, but we'll talk about some zany stuff. Man, things are crazy out there. They're just, I mean, I know we keep talking about that, but it's just people are not doing well. This is why it's great that we're here to be able to hold space for people and and be of service and to answer questions and to just be somebody who is has unconditional positive regard and no judgment for you, where you can just be you and just vent these frustrations. I mean, I had somebody that texted me, fuck ass balls tits. It was a client, and I knew exactly what that meant. Like it was just my life.
Yeah. You know, you and I, Tom, we do this every week, in our own capacities. And we get to this Friday morning, and it's just like, we are mentioning, I feel like the maid. I just cleaned up this mess. And then boom, it's a disaster again. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. This is okay.
Uh-huh. Like the mail, right? The mail
It just,
comes in and we got to get it back, and then more comes in and we got to get that back out.
I feel like Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He'll keep calling. He'll keep calling. And they
Yeah,
just keep calling, Tom. They keep showing up and keep calling, and they all have problems. That's it.
yep. And we hear a lot of similar stories. So, any top stories you've been hearing lately?
It. I guess it's. I mean, it's the same themes kind of happening. Is people are just more despondent, desperate than I've seen them collectively in a long time.
Mm.
People are wary of the future. Like, where is this thing going?
Mm.
Um, I mean, people that are making good salaries are like having to keep paying attention to their dollars because they're not certainly going as far as they used to. People that are making average to maybe even below average are struggling.
Yeah.
And, I've talked to a couple people. It's just like, I can't. I mean, I'm just, I'm not paying my credit card. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't afford it. Just who cares about my credit report? I just, whatever.
Right.
People are really, I talked with a woman who her car got washed away in a storm in the Midwest a couple weeks ago, and she has insurance. I mean, but it's taking some time, and she's had to, she's trying to get rides and whatever, but she's had to take a couple like Ubers to work, and
Yeah.
it's like $80. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
you know just stuff like that. I mean,
Well,
everyone's balancing and they're teetering and they're doing the best they can, and then something comes along and it just, I mean, people are ripe for, they can't handle one more thing.
right. There's no wiggle room,
There's zero wiggle room.
right? Like you mentioned the car thing. I mean, if you have a car that runs and everything is good and you've been keeping up on the maintenance, remember
Right.
we talked about that maintenance before just with
Hmm.
ourselves. And as long as everything's okay, we're doing all right, relatively speaking. But if you have, oh shit, I got a nail in my tire
Right.
and I got to get new tires now, like that's a huge expense that we just can't handle that. Can't handle one more thing. We're already tapped. Robbing Peter to pay Paul
Hmm.
type of shit,
Yeah. I heard a comedian say, I knew that I made it, and I knew that I was in the big time when I can afford 4 new tires at a time.
Yeah, I can do all of them.
That was my litmus test. Tires all around.
Yeah.
Felt rich for the first time in my life.
Mm.
And it's sad but true. I mean, things are very different than when you and I were younger. I mean, we struggled and we paid our dues and we did some interesting things and ate a lot of ramen, but
Yeah.
but we persevered, and
Yeah.
it's just, it's tough. And I feel for people that are the whole 18 to 30, it's a very different world.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandparents are like, well, why just go get another job, you lazy kids? It's like, listen, you bought your house for a bottle cap and a shoestring.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And now the average house is 400,000 a year with, salaries and wages have not increased significantly, or
Yeah.
they have not increased at the rate of, the price of a new home. You paid 12 grand for your house when you made 3, right?
Yeah.
So,
Why? And then to get a mortgage on that, you need
right.
to show substantial, right, income,
Yeah. Yeah.
and can't do that. I have a lot of people that are looking for work and they're filling out stuff online. I mean, you can't even go into a place anymore and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a job. You hiring? Can I talk to the manager? Can I set up an interview?" Like, it's all, well, you got to go online. Then you got to fill out the stuff online. And so, I'm sure these businesses, whether they're chains or local businesses, are just receiving a volume of, people applying,
Mhm.
and the computer, the algorithm, the AI, the what, the this and that is weeding out a lot of the stuff because you didn't use the right keywords, or you don't have the right experience or the right education, or to match. And so there's not a human set of eyes looking at
Mhm.
any of these things to determine, hey, this person, they may not have all the requirements, but they outshine in these areas, and I might take a chance on this person that actually
Right.
might be a good fit, and that could lift them up. I have kids that have graduated college now who are looking for work, and because they have no experience, I mean, I'm sure all of their applications are just immediately kicked out.
Right. Well, people are saying I've applied for 300 jobs and haven't heard back on one of them.
Yeah.
And these aren't people that are, these are people that have skills.
Hmm.
Yeah, a coworker, his daughter just graduated with a bachelor's degree, in a decent degree, and started part time. The only job she could find was part time at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, oh, okay, when you can't be making a whole lot working
right,
at a coffee shop. I'm
right,
sure it's enjoyable, right?
yeah. But even entry level, even an entry level decent job, maybe okay. Let's say entry level decent job making 40, 50 grand. You
Yeah.
can't get an apartment in most cities
No.
on that salary.
No, because
And
in
I don't
local
want.
communities, it's like 3,000,
Yeah,
per
yeah.
month. Imagine what it's like in, big city. Five.
Right, right. And it's not just the rent, but it's the utilities, it's the car, it's the car insurance. It's, I mean, when you load everything together,
Yeah.
it's unsustainable. So now 3 and 4, 5 people are trying to get together and live in a 2 bedroom apartment.
Right. And you're definitely not going to be able to afford your Uber Eats,
All right. Hey, your $6 milkshake is now 22.50.
right?
Enjoy
Right.
it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I didn't get. I never understood that.
Mm. Well, then you think about, well, what does it cost in gas?
Hmm.
You're running out, it's a little bit more traffic now. Things are overcrowded, right? You're out there driving around, to go get your $6 milkshake. And, by the time you fill up at the pump,
Hmm.
maybe it was a $22 milkshake.
All right. So what's the answer, Tom? We have to give people hope.
Okay, let's do that. Where's the hope? Well, well,
Hmm.
life, the universe, God, we choose to, or you're religious. Things are cyclical.
Hmm.
So, we've talked about this before. If you're feeling a certain way that you don't particularly like, um, if you don't do anything and you just wait, things will turn themselves around anyway. Right. Same goes for if you're feeling really good. I know you want to enjoy that, but it's not going to last forever. At some point, the tides will turn. So, same thing goes for, I mean, this is branch out to a more macro level. This is how things go, right? There's a period of time where there's economic stability and people are feeling good and they're working and they're feeling productive and they're making money and they're investing and they have most of the things that they want, life is good. And then the tides turn, and then it goes south, sometimes very quickly. And then we're in that,
Mm-hmm.
what are we going to do? Well, at some point, however long that is, things are going to turn around.
Right.
Things are going to get better, through catastrophe and adversity is birthed, ingenuity and positive change and
Mm-hmm.
or just change in general.
Mm-hmm.
Things will be different in the next year, at least, and definitely different in the next 5 years. So I think when we're in a place of a recession and we're just, we're robbing Peter to pay Paul and we're prioritizing, well, I'm going to have to pay the mortgage this month, which means we're not going to be able to do the, Uber Eats thing for a
Right.
while or whatever, or I'm not going to be able to buy that, whatever thing on the TikTok shop or
Right.
make sacrifices. And then you just survive as best you can, working together as a community or as a team, as a family,
Right.
and then we stay the course and things will turn themselves around and then we
Mhm.
find where we fit in.
And there's the concept of just perseverance, right? So things are not always the way that you want them to be, but take stock of what's happening now, be appreciative of what you do have instead of envious of what you don't have.
Yeah.
And, what are some things that we can do right now? What are some free activities, right? That doesn't cost anything. It's not a ton of gas. I mean, depending on where you live, there's all kinds of resources available. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Tom, you and I live 15 minutes from the beach. When was the last time you went to the beach?
Right. Yeah, exactly. We actually did go to the beach pretty recently, but I mean, it's not like we go every day or every weekend, right?
Right. And every time we go, it's like, why don't we come here more often?
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's just perfect. And
Yeah.
we live in a beautiful part of the world where you can explore most of the months of the year, and
Mm-hmm.
there's trails and all kinds of hiking and lagoons and hot springs and beaches and all kinds of stuff. So what's at your availability? What can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not talk about what you can't do. Let's talk about
Yeah.
what you can do.
And things that are active, even if it costs a little bit of gas to get there, or maybe bike riding and you have to buy a bike, or maybe you get a secondhand bike or something. There's a little bit of cost to some things, or maybe the admission to that park or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
nominal in comparison to the amount of money that we spend if we just sit home
Mm-hmm.
and watch. We pay $700 a month because we have to have all these streaming channels, right? And then you're watching, then you're ordering food, not good food, by the way. I mean, yes,
Right.
good, but not like healthy
Right.
food. And then you're shopping online or spending money on app games or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, uh, betting on shit. That's been a big problem with the younger population. Engaging with
Mm-hmm.
these apps where they bet on anything and everything.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of clients who are coming in dealing with that. So maybe that's a topic for another show,
Yeah.
that addiction. But it costs a whole lot of money, and not just the monetary cost of sitting at home watching TV, eating pizza, online shopping. It costs a lot for your mental and emotional health, physical health
Mm-hmm.
as well, because you're not out there moving, engaging in things. You're not
Right.
actively like using your brain. You're
Mm-hmm.
not moving your body, so it
Right.
behooves you to get out there and do some active
Mm-hmm.
types of things. Whatever that is. Try out something. Go get
Mm-hmm.
data. Go join the rowing club and see what that's all about.
Exactly.
Right.
It's funny. I had this conversation maybe a month ago. I was talking with somebody, financial kind of issues, and so let's talk about some of your expenses. What are some of your monthly expenses? And they said, oh, I have a gym membership. I'm like, oh, what gym? Is it the PIF, right? Where it's what, $7 a month? Okay, that's not a big deal. Whatever, it gets you moving. No, this was one of those, hoity-toity gyms where it was like 150 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, tell me, what do you do there? Well, I usually get on the treadmill and, I do this and I do the rowing machine. That's what made me think of it. I get on the treadmill, I do the rowing machine, for the most part. I'm like, oh, okay. Could you walk, like put on some headphones and like walk in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
You know? So it was creating some alternate, people get used to what they're used to and
Yep.
they can't conceive of something different.
And I've had to do that too, where I take a look at the expenses, and which is uncomfortable. I get it, because
Right.
you sign up for things, especially when you're feeling good, and you're like, I want to add this service and I want to add that, and then
Mhm.
before you know it, all that adds up, and then it's a huge chunk of change at the end of the month, paying for all this stuff. And so I took a good hard look at all these things, and I'm like, why do I have that? Let me get rid of that. I'm not really using that thing. Or
Mhm.
I can find an alternative that's actually cheaper or free
Mhm.
for this particular thing. And then all of a sudden you just saved, 500-600 bucks every month.
Right.
You're like, why was I spending all that? It
Remember
wasn't
when
benefiting me.
remember when cable was a hoax? I'm not paying, $100 for 700 channels to watch nothing.
Right.
So we got all these streaming services and paid 12.99 for each of them, and then we
Yeah.
still have 700 channels and there's nothing on it.
Yeah. And we're paying $500.
And we're paying 5. And it's like, I just want to watch that one show and it's only on this one channel. So I'll sign up for a free, the first month free, and then cancel the subscription once I binge this show, and then you don't cancel. And, oh
You haven't canceled it for 3 years,
yeah.
and you haven't watched any shows on that thing.
What show was I supposed to watch? I don't remember.
Yeah. But $7 is coming out every month.
Absolutely.
So let's take a hard look at those things about
Mhm.
what are you consuming, what are you paying each month.
Right.
And I know there's some great apps out there. I see commercials for one in particular all the time where you can go on it. I've never used it, I'm not sure how that all works, but they can cancel just things like subscriptions for you.
Mhm.
Maybe that would be beneficial. Maybe you just don't realize how, because it's so easy,
Yeah.
right? You just show your face and click the button twice, you know and then now you're signed up
All right.
to pay X amount of dollars for whatever app or whatever service, and then before you know it, I mean that adds up. You feel like $6.99 isn't a big cost, but you do that times 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny, all the apps and all these places that could sponsor us as a podcast are now like get you guys away from us, right?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Except for that one. Hey, cancel your subscriptions using that app.
Yeah, that one. I mean, it's great.
So,
We're
yeah.
never gonna.
Uh-huh.
So
I'm
cancel your
downloading it right now.
exactly. Don't get a $22 Uber Eats milkshake. Walk your crusty ass down to Aldi and buy a $4
Right.
gallon ice cream. Make your own dang
Right.
milkshake.
Make your own thing. That could be kind of fun, right? To experiment with that.
Right, we did. Okay, here, guilty. We bought a creamy, a Ninja Creamy, which is an ice cream maker,
Hmm.
right? And we've been having lots of fun with it. So I certainly can't go back to eating ice cream every night, but once a week, man, we fire up that Ninja Creamy, make it homemade ice cream. And what I like about it is you make it, so it's all good ingredients, right?
Yeah.
It's sugar, milk, heavy cream, a little bit of cream cheese, and whatever flavoring you like a little
Yeah.
vanilla or something. So,
I have been looking at that.
oh, Tom, it's amazing.
Oh man. Well, because how some people have a sweet tooth?
Hmm.
All of mine are sweet.
I have them all. So any of you that don't have it, Tom got them all.
I got them all. I got all the sweet teeth. So, like when I'm doing well, which I have been, tightening things up,
Mm-hmm.
right? I still want that sweet, and I crave that sweet. So, like I need something, a healthier alternative, and
Mm-hmm.
or else I'm gonna go eat crap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd like to experiment with that and maybe find a healthy, low calorie type of version. I'm sure you can make that with that.
Yeah. I mean, even a regular, like four serving, it makes about four servings, 3 to 4 servings at a time with a regular recipe. And it's a third a cup of sugar for
Hmm.
4 servings. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad.
Harm reduction, right?
Exactly. And it's, once a week. And it's fun to make your own dang ice cream. And it's all fresh ingredients. And,
Yeah.
so we got it. But of course, like first we had to put like an Oreo in it and mix it all up. And then it's like,
Yeah.
can we at least put fruit in this thing? Can we try to make this a little fun?
You know what I'm thinking? Nutella.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, it came on the Woo, right? We had the Ninja Creamy was on sale on the Woo, so I bought it a couple months ago. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's been
Woo
fun.
woo. Yeah.
I think we got it for like $90 or something.
Uh-huh. Here's something I'd like to discuss. I think this could be helpful. You know, many of you out there, that life is going to challenge you at some point, right? You're going to be challenged. And we embrace challenge and adversity because even though it might be sucky having to deal with whatever, after the fact, it makes us better. So here's the challenge. I want you to go out and challenge yourself, find a way to challenge yourself so that I've noticed this. I don't know if we can prove this scientifically. However, the more that I seek to challenge myself, the less an outside force challenges me.
Mm, I like that.
Now,
Absolutely.
is that just like confirmation bias? I'm just making that shit up in my mind. Maybe, but I like it. I like that concept. And so I go out and seek things that challenge me, whether it's learning something new or practicing the guitar, music, learning music theory, trying to get better at that. That's a challenge each and every day. Doing yoga, that's always been a challenge because I'm of the formidable husky sort.
We're from the Weevil family.
Yeah, they they wobble, but they don't fall down. Right, or just go learn something, go join some kind of club, and challenge yourself, find ways to challenge yourself,
Right.
and especially ways that don't cost a whole lot of money.
Mhm.
See where that takes you.
And if you're able to, not everybody's able to, but if you can, I challenge you to find a way to save $100 a month, to cut
Hmm.
expenses, cut $100 worth of expenses out of your budget every month. And not only do that, but if you're able to, save that $100, create that emergency fund so that
Hmm.
if you have to, you can go buy 4 tires.
Hmm. I like the fact that because things are so expensive, I don't like that part. But what I do like is the fact that it gives us an opportunity to take a look at what do we really need?
Mhm.
What do we really need to get by? What we really need to survive? What's really important in our lives? And I think that's a great place because a lot of us can't do that of our own volition.
Right.
Sometimes we need a reason, out of necessity. I can't afford the lifestyle, so I've got to narrow it down to these are the things that are really important to me, and that might mean you don't get the massage, or you only get your nails done, every other month, or you don't get the Uber Eats, then you end up, making your own food, or you use that sparingly, or maybe that's a reward every once in a while instead of an everyday type of practice. So I do like that fact that because things are so outrageous financially, we have to take a good hard look at what's really important in our lives. And I
Yeah.
think I want to expand upon that. And maybe you have some questions about how to do that. Um, Prioritizing your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. What do you really need for you to be the best version of yourself? And it's a lot different than you think. What
Absolutely.
you really need to get by to be the best version is a lot less than you think.
For sure. Absolutely. And we want to hear what you're thinking out there. Questions of therapy unzip.com. Send us your
Yeah.
comments, questions,
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah, in those domains, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What are the things you need to be the best version of yourself? Make a pretty comprehensive list of the things you need in those areas, and then take a good hard look at those things. And do you really need 50 subscriptions to online streaming things for you to be the best version of yourself? Probably not. You only watch 3 channels anyway.
You're rewatching The Office for the 37th time. Come on.
Yeah, right. Or paying all the $500 a month to watch Friends,
Right.
Hmm. Or The King of Queens.
Smelly cat.
Right. Right. What are they feeding you? I had a young person the other day. We were making Friends references, and it's
Nice.
like 20, early 20s, 20 nothing, right?
20
And
nothing.
making the Friends references, and he was relating to a situation, a crazy situation that happened in his life, and he was like, That's definitely something that would happen to Ross." For sure. And I went. He was like, "Yeah."
That's funny.
I had no idea that younger people would be into that show. This is 30 years old, right?
All right. They were great shows back then.
Yeah. Okay, so priorities. What's really important to you? What can you remove from your life? And no, not your spouse. Or, well, maybe, I guess.
That's another show, Tom. Come on.
Come see us first. What are you
Right.
doing that doesn't have a whole lot of value for you in your life that you can really get rid of?
Tom, that reminds me of what happens to us every week, right? We have this whole session, opens up, we mop them up, put them all back together, get them all ready, and then they lean on the door frame on the way out and go, "Oh yeah, one more thing."
You're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh shit, you should have led with that.
Yeah. I'm like, let's hold on to that for the next week.
Let's put that in the container.
Right. I don't know what kind of container we're gonna put that in.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
buy a way.
let's secure that, lock that up, save it for the next time.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Mhm.
Can't wait.
Doorknob confessions.
Yeah, doorknob confessions, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh yeah, one more thing.
Hmm.
Tom,
So,
always good to see you.
same. A treat to have you and to do the show, and send in your questions and comments and opinions and all that to questions at therapy unzipped. Always forget that part. Questions at therapy unzipped.com, and we'll field them on the show. Seriously, send them in, and we'll be here. We've got a couple questions that came in that we're going to be looking at and preparing for our next show. So I'm excited about that. And also, we had a show where we gave somebody, we haven't heard back, so maybe we offended her. Oh well, I hope not. But the one that we gave the unzipped version.
Oh.
Sure, remember that
Tom,
one.
if we had a nickel for every time we offended somebody, we'd have lots of nickels.
We can buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, but maybe it was helpful. We don't know. So, since we don't have any data, good or not so good, we'll just say it was good.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great way to be. There's often times with clients I say, "Do you have evidence supporting the way you're thinking?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. But based on my experience, I think that's true. But you don't know if it's true. So
Right.
until you have data, until you have evidence to either support or deny that claim, why don't you just go with the positive one?
That would be too easy, Tom. We can't do that.
Can't possibly do that.
Oh, bite your tongue.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.